there everybody. Today I wanted to share with you a tag mini album that I created using the Graphic 45 Place and Time. I took their regular tag album and their large tag album and combined them to make a tag for every month of the year. I also used a couple of the staple packaging pieces as tags just to alternate for something different. You can tell that the album is really chunky, full of embellishments, and I really love that. I love this line. There's so many different parts to each pattern paper that you can cut out. Here's a sample of the July Place and Time cut-aparts. All the little images that you can cut out. On the flip side is different pattern papers that you can intermix to make your creations. So, let me show you the tags. Here's the January tag. I've done some fussy cutting on the girl and the little clock. Pop-dotted up a couple of the images to give them dimension. I added a little bit of stickles onto the stamps for the snow effect, and then tied on one of the metal keys with some brown twine. February one, I actually used the trim packaging for this one and put some of the some lace on the top there. Again, pop-dotted up some of the embellishments, cut out one of the Be My Valentine tags, and then did some fussy cutting here along the flowers, and those are popped up along the bottom. I inked all the outside of my tags with walnut stained distress ink, and then on the pattern paper itself that I used on the tags, I used vintage photo ink. Here's March. I didn't tie any ribbon along the top of that. Once the tag album's all put together, it's so bulky and there's so much ribbon that I didn't tie something on every single tag. This one you can see I cut a strip of the pattern paper for the background and then chose some of the elements that I had left over after doing that. Added some stickles to the flower on the postcard here, and then cut out a little flower grouping, pop-dotted that up, and added stickles to that one. For April, this is the regular size tag album. I actually made a little pocket here. Put the pattern paper on the background and then used part of the postcard. Then created this little fun pocket to put a couple of the tags in and one of the little images. And here's the May one. The butterflies here are all cut out from the stamps, and then I pop-dotted those up to give them dimension. Added some stickles on the butterflies, and also along the little butterflies on the border along the top and the bottom. They have stickles as well. This is the Graphic 45 trim. I wrapped that around and tied that in a bow. And then for June, I used some Maya Road ribbon to tie at the top, added some Prima swirls along the images, and I like when things come off of my tags or my cards. I always love off the page elements, so some of the stuff does hang over quite a bit. The July one, I stained some seam binding red and blue and tied that there. Made a dimensional star, pop-dotted that up. Added one of the keyholes here at the bottom, and then put the little banner shape across the center of, or the lower part of the tag. Added a couple of Prima flowers that I thought went really well with this particular month and the colors. And then tied one of the chipboard Graphic 45 clocks on the side there with some brown twine. And this one, I again stained some seam binding for the top green. Love the middle hinges. I just placed them at the top and bottom of the tag once I had all of the paper elements on there. I actually stapled this little strip here across, pop-dotted up the stamp and then the image. And here's the back to school one on one of the larger tag ones. This time I stapled some of the trim there, added the keyhole and the Brad there. Popped up this little person sitting at the desk, and then actually cut out another image of the same person and popped out of that up on top of that image. For October, I added some black lace to the top of that since I thought it went well with the Halloween theme. Added a Prima flowers and bling along the tag. This little ghost here, I cut him out and popped him up. You can see that. Also popped added up the two stamps here, one on top of layering them on top of one another, and then threw a couple staples in the little trick or treat over here. November again is on one of the staples packaging. You can see there. Added the metal hinge and just kind of layered everything. There's pattern paper behind it from the flip side of the November cut-aparts. Cut the lady out with the pie, popped her up on top of the flatter image. And then the last one is the December one. Really love this one. I used the metal clothespin there. I have these jingle bells that matched really well, so I tied those on there with some twine. Popped up some of the stamps and cut out some of the little holly leaves and popped that up. Put one of the tags there behind the Santa image. And then the albums actually come with the binder rings, so once you're done creating, you can just place everything right back on the ring. I actually have a little stand that has a hook on it, and that's how I'm displaying my tag album. I'm just hanging it from that little stand. You can display it just from the beginning, or you could flip it to whatever month it is and display the corresponding month if you wanted to. Like I said, it's pretty thick, chunky book, but totally fell in love with it. Love the tag albums that they've come out with, and obviously all their staples go with all of their lines so well. It's just very fun to play with and mix and match everything. So that is my tag album using the Graphic 45 Place and Time. Thanks for stopping by.